when the movie came out, all of this drama started happening because people online noticed, I would never notice this, but people online noticed it, that Justin Baldoni was still following the other cast members, but none of them were following him on social media anymore.
I have a master's degree in business, and today I'm going to use it to analyze the glorious downfall of Blake Lively as it pertains to the It Ends With Us cast drama.
Blake Lively has flipped the narrative around, you guys, and her latest move has people looking at Justin Baldoni quite sus. Cause if there is any truth to this, he literally mirrored himself on his role on Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us. Not only that, but Justin's legal team has also responded, and the whole he said, she said situation is the messiest thing about this movie so far. It is such a mess, and we have got to talk about it, so without further ado, let's get into it. By now, y'all might have already heard that Blake Lively has officially filed a legal complaint against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. But it's not what you think. This scandal runs deep. Blake is not holding back, accusing Baldoni of SA and straight up launching a campaign to ruin her image. If you thought that this was just some baseless Hollywood whisper, their paperwork is crazy. Isn't it frightening how two lead characters in a movie about DV have now turned around to accuse each other of literally the same? Remember the film It Ends With Us? But wait, Blake plays a woman trapped in a toxic relationship with Baldoni's character, who is both charming and abusive. Kind of ironic, right? Well, according to Blake's filing, the set itself wasn't much different. She claims the whole vibe was hostile, so hostile that she demanded a meeting to address the situation, and in attendance alongside was her hubby, Ryan Reynolds, just in case. Now, this meeting in question happened in January, and that, guys, is the meeting that marked the last-ditch effort to fix the chaos. Safe to say that it was unsuccessful, otherwise it wouldn't have come to this. Actually, that meeting went so bad that Blake's filing dramatically calls it a showdown. According to the legal filing, Ryan's presence wasn't appreciated one bit, allegedly because the purpose was to confront Baldoni and another producer over what Blake called repeated SA and other disturbing behavior on set. Now, Baldoni's team isn't just brushing this off, they're calling the claims categorically false, to the point of hiring a crisis manager, saying Blake threatened to derail the movie unless they gave in to her demands. Whew. The drama. Now, let's not forget that besides taking a lead role, Justin was also the director and co-chairman of the Wayfair Studios, the production company behind It Ends With Us. Blake's legal complaints point fingers not only at him, but also at Jamie Heath, Wayfair's CEO, accusing both of them of behavior that is inappropriate and unwelcome. Not just toward Blake, but other people on set too. Blake really chose war on this one, guys. We're talking about a list of 30 demands Blake made during that meeting to try and keep the film afloat. You want to hear some of the wildest ones? She asked Baldoni and Heath to stop bringing up their adult content addiction and to quit talking about their private parts around her and other crew members. Oh, and apparently Baldoni kept trying to add spicy scenes to the movie that Blake never agreed to, including physical intimacy and on-camera climaxes. Like, excuse me? Blake also demanded Baldoni stop claiming he could talk to her dead father. Oh, and there's more. Blake Lively is also accusing Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios of running a full-blown, multi-tiered plan to destroy her reputation. She says this whole thing was carefully orchestrated to silence her and anyone else daring to speak out about the toxic environment Baldoni and James Heath allegedly created on the set of It Ends With Us. In Blake's statement, she made it clear that her goal isn't revenge, but justice. She hopes her legal action will expose the sinister, retaliatory tactics she claims were used to harm her and others who speak up about misconduct, while also outrightly denying planting or spreading any negative info about Baldoni or Wayfarer Studios. The production team apparently didn't exactly deny involvement of a crisis manager. Instead, he justified it, saying Wayfarer Studios only brought in the PR team because Blake was making multiple demands and threats during production. What kind of threats, you ask? Friedman claims Blake threatened not to show up on set or promote the film if her demands weren't met, something he alleges could have led to the film's downfall during its release. Now, here is where things get even messier. While the film itself was a box office hit, critics weren't exactly clapping. Some slammed it for romanticizing DV, a claim that hit hard given the movie's sensitive subject matter. And as if that wasn't enough, co-star Brandon Sklenner threw more fuel on the fire with a cryptic Instagram post hinting at a falling out between Blake and Baldoni. Baldoni. Fans couldn't help but notice these two avoided each other on the red carpet, sending the rumor mill into overdrive. In one of her interviews during the media tour for the film, Blake said during an interview with the BBC that she was deeply invested in the project and that she felt a heavy responsibility to honor the book and its fans. She described the story as a roller coaster of emotions, funny, painful, inspiring, and tragic all at once. Lily is a survivor and a victim, but these labels don't define her, Blake said, adding that the film was made with lots of empathy. But y'all, if you can remember, this didn't even go down well with a lot of people who took it that she described the feeling of a DV survivor as funny. Guys, the launch of It Ends With Us was hell for Blake Lively, but these new developments aside, she was equally found at fault on so many media tours, given the way that she answered some questions insensitively. But empathy or not, the off-screen drama is painting a much darker picture than we thought. And just as we feared at the launch, the fallout from Blake's allegations might just overshadow the film's success. And just when you thought that things couldn't get any messier, It Ends With Us author Colleen Hoover has officially entered the chat, and she is siding with Blake Lively. In a bold move, Hoover took to Instagram on December 21st, the very same day Blake's harassment allegations against Justin Baldoni hit the news, and her message was in total support for the actress. In an emotional Instagram stories post, Hoover, 45, shared a snapshot of herself hugging Blake at a film screening and praised her co-star, writing, "Blake Lively, you have been nothing but honest, kind, supportive, and patient since the day we met. Thank you for being the exact human that you are, never change, never wilt." And honestly, the last line feels like a not-so-subtle dig at Baldoni and all of the chaos surrounding the allegations. And here's where things get even more layered. Blake Lively and Colleen Hoover aren't just collaborators. They're legit friends after connecting in this project, and Blake has been vocal about how Hoover means so much to her. Earlier this month, Blake posted a heartfelt tribute on Instagram for Hoover's birthday, complete with adorable photos of the two snacking together while Wicked played in the background. "Everyone who knows this woman is changed for it," Blake wrote, hyping up the author with a level of love that you can just feel through the screen. She called Hoover calm and steady, praised her quiet fortitude, and even gave a playful shout out to her favorite drink, Diet Pepsi. Blake added, "She always chooses the kindest path," showing just how much admiration she has for Hoover. And it's clear that the feeling is mutual. Hoover has nothing but complimentary things to say of Blake, especially when it comes to her work on It Ends With Us. Back in August, Hoover told People that Blake's performance as Lily Bloom wasn't just good, it was captivating, stunning, and emotional. She even admitted that Blake's portrayal adds layers to Lily that Hoover hadn't even imagined while writing the book. "There aren't enough words to describe her phenomenal talent," Hoover gushed, adding that Blake brought Lily to life in a way that exceeded all of my expectations. "It's clear that these two have a deep respect for each other, and that bond is making Hoover's public support of Blake in this scandal hit even harder." Anyways, moving on, what kind of made Blake's allegations hold salt was that apparently Baldoni and his team agreed to stop trying to sneak in new explicit scenes that weren't in the original script that she signed on for. Like, how is this even happening in the first place? The agreement seemed like a win for Blake, but according to her complaint, Baldoni flipped the script soon after, and that's when the retaliatory campaign also started. And y'all, it gets nastier. Blake's complaint includes private texts and emails, yes, receipts, where Baldoni's crisis PR reps allegedly discussed planting stories to paint Blake as a weaponizer of feminism. They even allegedly plotted social account takedowns and ways to stir up internet drama, like starting threads of conspiracy theories to twist the narrative against her. The complaint itself is just a foundation to a full-blown discrimination lawsuit in California. And if all of this goes to court, the mess will definitely be next level. And just like that, y'all, curtains are literally closing for Justin, cause in a dramatic turn of events, WME, one of the biggest talent agencies in Hollywood, has officially dropped Baldoni as a client. Without a doubt, people believing this decision is reportedly tied directly to the ongoing damning situation outlined in Blake's complaint. According to Deadline, the accusations, ranging from intrusive behavior to a full-on smear campaign, were too much for WME to ignore. On the flip side, WME is still standing by Blake, continuing to represent her while cutting ties with Baldoni, literally drawing a line in the sand. This back and forth is getting real messy, and with both sides digging in their heels, it's hard to tell how this Hollywood showdown will end. One thing is for sure though, this drama has people picking sides, and it is only getting more intense. In yet another twist though, Blake Lively's past feuds are resurfacing amid the buzz, plus the controversies that plagued her during the film's premiere. People are once again re-examining her behavior at the time, and of course, she's got a ton of hate from fans for being insensitive to the theme of the movie. One of the resurfacing focusing feuds is her alleged pathetic personality, even with cast members of different shows like years ago. Like her alleged tension with Gossip Girl co-star Leighton Meester. On screen, Serena and Blair were the ultimate frenemies, and apparently the drama spilled into real life. In 2008, New York Magazine reported that Blake and Leighton avoided each other like the plague on set, with castmates even having to choose sides. By 2011, word on the street was that Blake was upset about Leighton's expensive costume budget, feeling it was unfair given her success in films. Now, the Gossip Girl drama resurfaced, and Armie Hammer weighed in during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. When asked about the biggest diva on set, Hammer, who played Blake Lively's on-screen love interest in season 2, dodged the question but hinted at tension. "Let me just say that it was a tough show to film," he said, adding, "I didn't end up filming all the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film." Fans are definitely reading between the lines. Was Blake the problem, or just another layer of Gossip Girl drama? And don't even get me started on the backlash that followed Blake and Ryan's wedding back in 2012 at Boone Hall Plantation. People were livid over the fact that they picked a venue with a painful history featuring 9 slave cabins known as Slave Street, something that remains a controversial topic to date. Ryan addressed the mistake in Fast Company, admitting they chose Boone Hall based on Pinterest photos and later realized its tragic history. He revealed they held another wedding at home to make amends. While Ryan apologized, Blake stayed silent, leaving many to wonder why she never addressed the controversy herself. Blake Lively faced fresh backlash after a 2016 interview with Norwegian reporter Kjersti Fla resurfaced. During the Cafe Society press tour, Fla congratulated Blake on her pregnancy, one that she had openly discussed, but when Fla congratulated her, she mocked her so badly it came to bite her years later. Such incidents and more have made Blake a not-so-liked star. As if the off-screen drama surrounding Blake Lively wasn't enough, her promotional strategy for It Ends With Us has only added fuel to the fire. Blake Lively's approach to promoting It Ends With Us has sparked a storm of backlash, and honestly, it is not hard to see why. Remember that promotional video where Blake encouraged fans to watch the film by saying, "Grab your girls, wear your florals"? Now, considering the story revolves around DV, that line left a lot of people scratching their heads and saying Blake had completely missed the mark in her marketing, making the film feel more like a rom-com than the emotionally charged story it was supposed to be. And it didn't stop there. Blake leaned into what fans are calling method dressing, wearing floral outfits almost exclusively during the promo tour. But the critiques didn't end with florals and flippant remarks. Fans also noticed Blake using interviews and events to cross-promote her other brands, including her hair care line, Blake Brown, and her beverage company, Betty Buzz. It was so bad, guys. And then there was the contrast with her co-star and director Justin Baldoni back then. While Blake has been under fire for her marketing missteps, Baldoni has been praised for taking a more serious approach in his interviews, focusing on the film's core message about DV. It was during these times that the feud between these two stars started hitting headlines, but no one knew exactly how bad it was. This feud isn't just about Blake versus Baldoni, guys. It is a spotlight on Hollywood's toxic culture and the chilling extent of media manipulation. If Blake's claims are true, they reveal a disturbing tactic. PR teams allegedly ruining reputations, controlling narratives, and silencing opposers. With receipts, leaked texts, and WME cutting ties with Baldoni, this isn't just about one movie. It's a crack in the facade of Hollywood's carefully managed image. Whether or not this heads to court, it is already reshaping how fans view the stars of It Ends With Us. And trust me, this drama is far from over. Thanks loves for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. And in case you missed It Ends With Us premiere drama, which led to Blake Lively's cancellation, you might want to catch that video. Trust me, this will all make sense. See you there.